Okay, in this video we'll give you a brief overview on your appliances in the kitchen. Of course, all appliances are going to vary a little bit depending on the selection chosen, but we'll go kind of over the ins and outs of the basic appliances that we tend to put in our homes. With the range hoods, they're always vented out with a 6-inch vent, and you always want to check the exterior side to make sure that 6-inch vent is open or opening properly, not getting stuck in the open position as far as the damper goes. So that's the maintenance on the exterior. Most hoods are made out of stainless steel, as well as a lot of the appliance packages. Anytime you clean the grease off of that, you might want to use a Dawn dish soap initially to get the heavy grease off of that cook or range hood, and then use a stainless cleaner to clean that off. Anytime you're cleaning any of the stainless appliances, make sure you go with the grain, so you can always see the grain run side to side, occasionally up and down, but it's very rare. But you'll be able to see which direction that's running, and make sure you use a microfiber rag and a good cleaner and move in the direction of that grain. All range hoods typically have push button features right here or up underneath here. They may have a toggle switch. You always have a light switch right there to turn that on and off. This particular range hood basically has an on-off button right here, which will start you at a low position, and then you can override with a medium and high, just like that, and back off again. Pretty simple. Two lights right here, which these trims can be turned in the counterclockwise direction. Those will drop out and you can replace the bulb. Always consult your manual as to what proper bulb will be needed. All of the filters that fit in the top right here, pretty typical for a range hood. It's got a push button right on the filter itself, which you can push in. You'll see those prongs kind of push back just like that, and you can slide those right out. Couple different options. You can just soak these in a Dawn dish soap or soapy hot water to remove the grease, or these are safe to put in the dishwasher. Make sure you look at your manual to consult and see what the best cleaning practice is for that. Once you put these back in here, you get two prongs on the back side, which will fit into the slots on the back side of the range hood. Push that button in and click them right back into position just like that. Pretty typical. With the cooktops, this happens to be a gas cooktop. We do put in quite a few gas cooktops. All of these pieces of parts on the top right here, all the grates, you can see you can lift those right off. They typically seat themselves in a pin type position where it kind of rests right in. All of these can be taken off. They can be soaked in hot water. You can get a great cleaner, is what they call it. It's a granular cleaner that you can dump in a hot water and soak all these pieces of parts. Will help kind of take that cooked on substances off of the surface. And then you can use a Scotch-Brite pad to go over the top of it to remove any kind of staining. The surface itself, sometimes you'll have a kind of more of a metal other than the stainless. You can use any kind of cleaner on that. If it is stainless just like this, just be very careful. Don't scrape anything off of it. Try to soak that top with a hot solution of soapy water and then work that cooked on surface off of there. So you don't scratch that surface. All of the igniters are right here. Basically, there's no working pilot on any kind of gas cooktop. You will see an ignite feature right here. If you turn that dial, push it down and over, you will hear it clicking. Just like that. And the burner should light. Once that burner lights, take it off so you don't hear the igniter clicking anymore, and you're good to go to adjust your temperature up and down from there. Each burner will work the exact same. Same cleaning instructions go with the grain. Just be careful around any decals that might be on the surface. Don't scrub too hard over the top of those, and certainly watch the amount of cleaner that you put on there so those decals aren't rubbed off. Gas range right here. Everything pretty much is digital nowadays, where you just push a button, choose your temperature, and fire it up. All of those mechanically are different. Make sure you consult your manual for proper operation. In some areas, we are required to put a shutoff accessible to shut the range and oven off. Typically, you'll have a key provided for you, and you'll see that the valve is in the toe kick on the bottom right there. It does have an indicator on and off. Simply put that key over the box valve and crank it in the position that tells you on or off. So if you're in this area, you smell gas whatsoever, make sure you turn that valve off and call to have that detected. All refrigerators all operate differently. Typically they do have on the interior all of your push button operation right here. You do have a water filter status light right there. It will tell you when to replace that. Those are typically on a timer, so if your water is flowing correctly, simply reset that timer and let it go again. If you see a slowdown or a trickle in your water, that would be the time to replace it. Most filters are inside the cabin or compartment right here. This one happens to be a drop down, and you'll see the filter right inside right there. This style basically drops down and you can pull it right out. Once you pull that filter out, it's got an O-ring that will seal it so you don't have to worry about water spraying out. Typically lasts about 6 to 8 months as a general. All dishwashers. Interiors will vary, different features, things like that. You always have your soap dish right there where you're going to put a pod and close that up. And of course your drying agent here. Not too much maintenance on the interior right here. Just make sure that the parts and pieces are intact and everything stays clean on the interior. Most are push button right up on the top right here where you can choose your cycle. Just like that. Once you choose your cycle, press start. It will give you a countdown. Close that door. And typically you'll have some sort of light indicator on the front or the bottom toe kick side that will show you that it's operational. Underneath the cabinetry here, just for the dishwasher alone, just so you're aware, there's always a dedicated shutoff for the dishwasher underneath the cabinet, which is typically a braided line brought through the side of the cabinet.